So, I saw this video on the internet the other day by FireUltraYT, the Pacifist challenge in Bedwars. And I thought, hey, I could do that, but I could do it better. Here's how I'm going to do it better. I am simply not going to punch anyone. That's a lie. I had to punch many people in the process of this challenge. The ultimate goal of this challenge is to end the screen with 0 final kills. So that's what I plan to do. I did not plan to get any kills whatsoever, though. And, some progress was made on that. But I will admit, I did just get very lucky in the end. Now, I had two main strategies going into this. The main strategy was to survive till deathmatch and then use the bridge builder and blocks to build obstructions to get them to fall off while I hopped around like a little rabbit. The other strategy was just get lucky. Now here's the thing, I am not a lucky individual. It's honestly quite comedic how insanely unlucky I am. However, I thought it was possible, but I decided to go for the more consistent strategy in hopes that it would work. I'll just let you see how that went, and which of the two methods actually ended up occurring in this video. Also, like and subscribe if you're watching this. This took me for fucking ever. The first game started off fine enough. Ended up getting the diamond right away. That's all I really need. With how I usually play, I end up just getting the first diamond, quickly upgrade, and then I just try to go and eliminate my neighbor right away. That's typically how I play. But this is a pacifist challenge. I can't go and kill my neighbor. That is not allowed. So I have to unfortunately let them be. I tried to scare them off here, but they just... It didn't look like they were scared in the slightest, so I just kind of had to deal with it. I wanted to break their bed to make it more annoying for them to get back, hoping that maybe that would be a deterrent, but that's about all I really could do at the start. I ended up having a little bit of a hiccup between the cuts of this actual, whole thing, but it doesn't really matter. What you need to know is that I lost some of my gold, so I ended up just heading center to get some emeralds to try to upgrade my generator that way. That way I can kind of just get what I need at the generator, get out, no problem. That was the main reason why I wasn't able to actually continue this challenge with that in mind, or at least with this game, because I did accidentally kill someone. I did get a hit in on accident while I was trying to place a block, and they just happened to be stupid enough to not be able to actually clutch it up. Now, normally I would have just killed myself in the game right away, but I ended up playing the game out, just seeing it wasn't a final kill, so maybe I could look over it. Didn't end up mattering, as you'll see shortly. We ended up getting a lot of golden apples. We got some ender pearls with the emeralds that we did still have, and we also ended up getting a lot of blocks as well. Normally, I would have gotten a fireball here, but as it stands, I can't get a fireball because that could result in me getting a final kill, and that's obviously not what we're aiming for here. So I ended up just trying to get a lot of blocks, maybe hoping that speed bridging, a little bit of tricky maneuvering would be able to get some people off when we eventually get the deathmatch, which, still have 7 minutes to go on that. Now, another part of my strategy was I ended up getting some of the bridge builders. This was because this could build very wayward and crooked bridges very quickly. These would be the main thing that I wanted to go for, and the reason why for that, if I didn't end up falling there, because ender pearls are still hard to get used to on the hive, if it didn't end up happening there, what my main strategy would have been was getting the diagonal ones and then building in a way to where if they're jumping towards me, it angles them right off the bridge. You'd be surprised at how effective it is, considering most people don't pay attention when they're jumping. Skipping to a little bit before deathmatch, we have a little bit of a setup going. We got a lot of the custom bridgers. I don't think you really need this much, but this is just what I ended up doing with all the diamonds that I got from a level 4 generator. That amount of blocks, we got a lot of golden apples, and we got some ender pearls that we're working with right now. This is just to try to increase survivability as much as possible, maybe end up in a draw. I'm not entirely sure by this point what my plan was, just because I filmed this a couple days ago, so I don't really remember what my brain was thinking at the time, but this is how I ended up going about it. mostly just because I thought this would be the easiest way to get a kill without actually killing anyone. And then, over the course of actually executing my strategy, I ended up having a little bit of a mishap, as you will see shortly. Even the best players are not above just falling off sometimes. Now we have the game where I actually succeed. This was, I believe, my third attempt at the challenge, if I'm remembering correctly. It might have been more or less, I don't entirely remember. I believe there was 3 games minimum, so I believe this was number 3, but I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head which of the attempts this was. Like I said, I filmed this a couple days ago and kind of forgot that it existed until this point, so just ended up doing it now. Ended up doing a similar thing to start with the deep slate. Worrisome hope that it might prolong my suffering a little bit longer. I mean, in the end, it 9 times out of 10 got me to deathmatch at least, or sudden death. I'm so used to calling it deathmatch. It 9 times out of 10 at least got me to sudden death. I ended up trying to set up a little bit of what you see there with my usual traps of the angling with the blocks and the jumps and all that. You'll see what I mean when you see how I set up the bridge in this regard. I'm setting up a trap in case anyone ends up trying to come to my island thinking that it would be effective. It's not really. I'm going to be honest, this was an idea of mine that had absolutely 0 point to it, but I just wanted to make it shown and vocalized here so you guys don't just see this during the video and think, what the hell is that doing there? The idea didn't end up working out too hot. I ended up speed bridging back to my island just because, I mean, it's my island. I don't really care who has been on it or anything like that, so I just ended up getting on my island for the sake of getting back to my island rather than being on a stranger's island. I can at least get a constant loop of resources and just hope I don't die. Now, here's an uh-oh SpaghettiOs moment. Aqua's bed is destroyed, and then they die, leaving me and one other person 9 minutes before deathmatch, and I have to survive the 9 minutes, and then I have to proceed to find a way to make them fall off the edge and die. Or I make them quit or disconnect. We're not really sure yet what's gonna happen. I know my brain didn't know at all in the slightest. I don't really know what I was thinking during this time, but it was probably along the lines of, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, fuck, 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 fuck. Or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. Now, we're at the 5-minute mark before deathmatch starts, and I wasn't really sure how I was going to survive this whole thing, but seeing Gray in Diamond in center wasn't exactly filling me with confidence. I wasn't really sure how to approach it. I ended up just kind of ender pearling and just hoping I didn't die. My pearls were not great during this time, admittedly. I was kind of just pearling back and forth and hoping for the best. I was running low on pearls, I was running low on gapples. It really was just, can I survive long enough while he's directly on my tail to not die? And honestly, I wasn't even sure if the answer was yes, since I wasn't even allowed to hit him. Now, this was kind of a Hail Mary here. I was kind of hoping that my trap would be able to work out. And then he just quits before deathmatch. So, we now know that yes, I can in fact beat FireUltraYT's Pacifist Bedwars challenge.